Alright, you already know what it is. Tearing the Volume 3 masks, the album is right there. Absolute masterpiece. And as always, links in the description if you want to make this tier list yourself. And we're starting with Clown as usual. Now this is one of my all-time favorite Clown masks too. I know I've said this in the previous two tier lists as well, but this one is just fucking amazing. And I mean, come on, it just doesn't get much better than this. In interviews, Clown was always saying he was really changing as a person, and this was kind of a time period where it was healing more from the wreck that was recording Iowa. I love that Clown, the mask, represents that too. I think it's super smart. And this is one of those masks that works extremely well because of the hair. I feel like the hair makes it look more dirty, more dark and fucked up. And it makes it look more insane. And that's all I've got. All I've got is insane. All I've got is insane. It looks insane. It looks creepy. It looks awesome. I fucking love it. And this one is going S tier. We're starting off with a bang with this album cycle. Now Corey's mask is the penultimate mask that works because of the hair. This isn't that crazy or weird of a mask, you know. It kind of looks like the 2003 Leatherface, to be fair. But that's not a bad thing, because he looks super cool in that film, and it looks super cool on Corey as well. And it's so insane, honestly, to me, because you come off of two of the best masks in Slipknot history, in my personal opinion. And you completely throw away the dreadlocks concept for this. And it works extremely well. Actually, now that I'm saying that, it actually sort of does make sense, because the dreadlocks mask was kind of based off of his hair at the time, since he had dreadlocks at first. And this is kind of based off of his hair with the color, you know, because he actually colored his hair this way. I mean, this one is also going S, because it's just so cool. And I love how vibrant it looks with the hair. And just the contrast between this creepy ass mask and then the colorful hair, which a 5-year-old could wear to elementary school, you know? I love it. It's amazing. Another one who nailed it is Craig. Now this mask is kind of similar to Iowa's one. Jesus. However, the nails are longer and not rusty anymore, which I feel like is a pretty cool change. However, he would nail this even better later. No pun intended there. Because here, the nails are kind of like sloppy and just hanging. Like a couple of limp dicks just hanging out of his head, you know? And I feel like it is a lot cooler when they stand in place. Which is just so weird to say after that comparison. But later, he would nail this a lot better. I fucking made that pun 5 times now, so I'm just gonna put it B and get that shit over with. Now James' masks, I'm not too big a fan of. I honestly imagine them talking about the new mask and James just coming up to Joey and being like, "Hey man, can I borrow your homework?" "Sure, just make it look different." "Alright, you bet." And then James just took Joey's emotionless mask and painted the jester on it, which, I don't know. I've never been too big of a fan of this one. It just looks kind of bland, and when you take this to this, I don't know. I gotta admit, respect for trying something new. I'm always complaining that they're not trying something new, and then now he's trying something new, and I'm complaining about that. But I mean, Clown and Corey tried something new too, and it worked for them. But for James, it just didn't work, in my opinion, you know? I'm just not a fan of this one. I don't like this one. I don't hate it as much as Sid's Iowa mask, as you all know I hate that one. I'm sorry, but this mask is just, I can't with this fucking mask. What is this shit? But yeah, I mean, I'm putting this one E, sadly. This one just ain't it for me. Now, Joey's mask is relatively the same. I just feel like it's a bit more 3-dimensional. Because, I mean, as we all know, this is what it looked like at first. And now it seems like the 3 dots above his eyes and the claw marks, I guess, are a bit more 3-dimensional, which is pretty cool. So I like that it's just an updated version again. So I actually quite like this one. However, again, I feel like it is just kind of too much of the same thing. You know, respect for changing it up a bit at least. Yeah, this one I'm also gonna put B next to Craig, because could have done something a bit cooler, I feel. Mix mask is also a huge improvement from the last one. And I realized after editing my self-titled and Iowa tier list, I was super hypocritical in my Iowa video, because I tiered Mix mask higher just because of a different photo, even though it's the same mask. So it's not like we're ranking them based off the photos, we're ranking the masks, not the photos. So it was a bit of an idiot move on my part, but the nose is 1,000 times better here than it was on the other masks. The overall face construction is just much cooler. I feel like he did make it a lot better later on, like even better than this, but this is already a huge step up, so I can't put it any lower than A. If you look up Chris Van Volume 3, you see the red masks. However, on my album over there, he doesn't wear the red mask yet. He wears sort of this one, which I think is cool. During the Volume 3 era, he kind of changed it up a bit because it just started with this, a more rusted look, which I think is extremely cool. A small change that just makes a fun difference, and then eventually it would turn completely red, which I think is extremely cool. So this one I'm also gonna put A. Now Sid's mask. This is his best mask yet, in my opinion. You know, he started off with the gas mask, then he turned the gas mask into a skull gas mask, which in concept is great, but the execution was just... Yeah, let's not talk about that again. Then he completely dropped the gas mask and just went full on skeleton. I mean, look at that shit. That is fucking sexy. And this is the third mask I'm gonna mention it, but the hair just added so much to it and makes it look so gross and dirty and like a fucking maniac, and I love it. I think it's super cool. I think the mouth is awesome, the eyes, the nose, it just looks horrifying. So this mask, I'm honestly gonna put S. I don't think I've been too kind for Sid's mask so far, so... Now Paul's mask, kind of a similar story to Sid. Started out with a pig mask, then leather black pig mask, and now he's just full on black slick looking mask, and it's just super cool. I think it's great. I think it's cool that it's kind of like a Hannibal Lecter sort of look, with the mouth obviously, and on stage this just looked extremely friggin' cool. I also love that it has the bullet hole and that it's kind of like cracked and everything. Would I put it up there with Clown, Corey, and Sid? No, because those masks are absolutely just phenomenal, just perfect to me. I don't know, I wouldn't put it up there, but certainly would put it A with these badasses right here. Anyway, there's my list. Honestly, very underrated era in my opinion. I feel like so far I've been most positive about most of the masks with this tier list. Anyways, make sure you click on my Slipknot content playlist in the outro right now.